Hello guys, and welcome back to the channel. So now guys, something has to give in this matter, and I am now convinced in my mind that this is purely about intimidation and nothing else, because there's really no other explanation outside of this. This is something now that has now reached its crescendo, and something has to give. Guys, I bring you this: cows take over Abuja road, disrupt vehicular movement. So now the whole streets of Abuja is now completely taken over by cattle, of course the Fulanis. So now what grazing is happening on a tarmac road that our vehicles are passing is the question. What sort of feeding or rearing is going on an estate that is built of brick and mortar is the question. So you can now see categorically now that this cattle rearing thing that is going on within the Nigerian space is nothing more than an act of intimidation, and they are using these cattle now to intimidate us and divert our attention as they carry out their evil plans. So this is really my thinking, and this has been my thinking all the way through, and every other instance that happens, every other occurrence or every other news item about this particular goings on goes on further to affirm that belief that I have, that this is just about intimidation, because this is not a business that these people are running. This is certainly not somebody going about their business, and this is not anything about animal husbandry. This is entirely and purely about intimidation. Again, the headline: cows take over Abuja road, disrupt vehicular movement. So now let's now see what the latest development is. Cows on Saturday blocked a major road in Akpo area of Abuja, disrupting vehicular movement for many minutes. In various pictures seen by correspondents, motorists were forced to stop their vehicles to pave the way for the cows moving freely on the road. So let's just pause there for a moment. We're just getting into it, but we must rather necessarily stop. So now motorists were forced. Just listen to that. The herder did not put his cattle to one side for the vehicles to carry on. The vehicles stopped for the cows to pass through. So now the vehicle stopping for the cows to pass through, you would immediately think that this was in some field or some forestry area where the vehicles were trying to chart a path to go to some location in the forest. No, this is at the heart of the Federal Capital Territory of Nigeria, Abuja. So this is where vehicles are parking to one side to let cattle through. So now they now say that this cattle rearing is a business, and the country must accommodate for it. They must facilitate for it. That these cattle rearers are only looking for green pastures to feed and rear their cattle. So that is the argument that they are presenting. But then Abuja, of course, is not a green and fertile area. Abuja is very much a concrete jungle, tarmacs everywhere and built up areas everywhere, and certainly the areas that these cattle are is very much a built up area. So now what nourishment or nutrient or feeding or rearing is taking place now on a tarmac road for vehicles to have to give way to cattle is the question. So this is why I insist that this cattle rearing thing is nothing to do with cattle rearing in any way, but really it is intent. It's the underpinning intention behind this thing is intimidation. There's absolutely no question about that, and there is nothing going on outside of that, because rolling cattle on a tarmac road, rolling cattle onto somebody's farm and eating up their crops, and rolling cattle into people's homes. I have seen these cattle in schools. I will try and look up that picture and see if I can make it part of the the thumbprint of this thing. You know, I don't use slides anymore. So you see it all the time. So really, this is just purely solely about intimidation and nothing else. And this again exemplifies that. So anybody that still thinks that it is a battle for resources, because they are saying the regions that those cattle used to feed is now drying up due to global warming, and this is why they are coming further and further into the interlands, and this is why these clashes are taking place. But then of course now they're on tarmac roads now, so that just then makes a complete lie now of that argument. We carry on. The photos, however, drew anger from many Nigerians on social media. A Twitter user, so I will not be reading out the names of the Twitter users, just their comments. A Twitter user, this is insane. This cannot be tolerated in 2021. FG, Nigerian government, should do something about it. So that is what that person has to say. Another user, this is not new. They do it all the time. People living in Lugbe, most especially River Park Estate, can relate. So this is an ongoing experience. The next commentator, it is allowed. It is called the Federal Capital Territory in the Zoological Republic of Nigeria. So now with that Zoological Republic of Nigeria, you would immediately think that this was an IPOP person speaking, because that Zoological Republic is very much an IPOP language. So I shall read you the name of the person making this comment now. The name is Tohib Adigun. You don't get more Yoruba than Tohib Adigun, but he of course has some sympathy with that Zoological Republic language, and who would not have sympathy with that language, saying what you're saying on your screen now. We carry on. The Abuja administration had in 2016 banned movement of cattle on public roads. The then Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Mohammed Bello, also inaugurated a task team to keep the cattle off Abuja roads. You have to understand that when Abuja Environmental Protection Board says cattle should not roam the city, it is not because they want to prevent cattle breeders from rearing cattle in the FCT. It is just for safety. It is for the safety of your cattle and above all, the citizens' safety. In a modern city, it is not possible for animals and vehicles to move together on the road because this could cause accidents, which in some cases could be fatal, and we must protect lives and property, the former minister had said. So even they have this understanding now that this is not, I mean, this cannot be the way. I was going to say they have the understanding that this is not the way, but this categorically cannot be the way. Look at what is going on. If anything upsets those cattle now, they just charge and wreck people's vehicles. And what would happen? The person, the little boy, because it's just usually some, these people are so emboldened now, they only need a little boy to roll these cattle round the streets to intimidate people. The little boy will just roll the cattle on, and you have to deal with the damage that has been afflicted or has been put upon your vehicle. And woe betide you, should you even say to that little boy, look at what your cattle did. They will off your head right there and then, and nothing will happen. How many heads have they offed in Nigeria and nothing has happened? So this is the situation we're contending with now. We're still in the throes of a Igangan community in Ibarapa local government area. We're still battling that, and off they go and up they pop in Abuja, asserting their dominion again over the Nigerian space. So this is effectively, if these cattle were owned by Igbo or Yoruba people, those cattle would have been rounded off and given out, and the person then that was rolling that cattle will be in jail if he's lucky, or finished off, which is what they would almost certainly have done. So this is now just is really asserting this master servant thing that is now evolving now within the Nigerian space, with these people now haven't had dominion on that Nigerian space for that long, now telling you now categorically, without any equivocation, that you are subjects of this and you're subject to them. And this is the subjugation now of a whole country. And because I wouldn't even say, because we have to consider that Abuja is not really a northern territory, and even if it was a northern territory, that is their norm anyway, but Abuja is the federal capital territory of Nigeria. Nigeria is one of the is the top 25 largest economies in the world. We're talking about a vast economy. We're talking about a very important country, and we're talking about an international city, which is what Abuja is. That is the first public face of that country. And what do you see when you visit? Well, you see what you see on your screens. Conversations in the comment section. It is now absolutely clear, without any scintilla of equivocation, that these people are using this thing as an intimidation tactic to divert attention from a more nefarious and a more sinister motive, which is starting to unfurl now before your very own eyes. Come share thought about all this with me in the comment section. But before you come into the comment section to engage, click on the red subscribe button so it turns gray. Bell button notifies you every time I drop a new video. Click on like as well, because that helps with the YouTube algorithm. Once you've done all the clickings, I am saying this is intimidation, but if you have any other concept of what is going on, come share it with me in the comment section. So I'll leave you here. Carry this conversation on with you in the comment section, but here I say peace.